What is going on, everyone? Thank you so much for tuning back in to the final round of the 2024 Nevada State Disc Golf Championships presented by MVP Sports. You've got myself, Spanky Edwards, my good buddy, Dan Devil N Turner.
Yo, 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 what's up, everybody?
Hey guys, thanks so much for coming back. This is gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, here we go. Let's get right into the players, huh? Alex Kalange leading the way, 969 rated, playing out of Tahoe City. He's been on our coverage all year. Jedd Berger, young gun upstart from Carson City, 975 rated. Nate Toutolmin, 973 rated, playing out of South Lake Tahoe, repping the premium disc golf hat. Z Money, Zach McFarling, playing out of Pleasant Hill, 956 rated. Zach is from Nevada, though, born and raised. And Andrew McGill, right down the hill here, Placerville, 978 rated. Let's go. Here's our leaderboard going into the final round. We got Kalange up by 2 on Jedd and Nate. McFarling 2 back of that, tied with McGill. And then we also got some guys on chase card doing some things. Should be good. Here we go. Hole number 1, 306 uphill. This is the B position. It's kind of tight, kind of far. Tough starting hole.
Yeah, a couple of options. Obviously, you can go right up the gut. A lot of these guys, actually all of these guys, kind of have that distance and power to get straight up there. The hyzer works. That took a weird jump out to the left, but this actually looks like he's lining up that hyzer line.
If it's fair, it's good. Cut up some stuff.
Yeah, par is still in play from there. Just obviously you want to be further. But there's a big backstop, so just hitting the rocks behind it's just fine.
Sure.
Oh, Nate. Yeah, Nate's getting a little caught up as well. That's actually to be a much more difficult approach
Zach
than where Jedd landed.
going forehand, a little bit low.
Okay, that's going to be probably the hardest approach so far. He's going to have like a forehand hyzer approach, but he's definitely really far away from the basket.
Oh boy.
Andrew doesn't like that one. That's early and left, but again,
Pretty straightforward up and down from over there.
approach from there is no problem. This is a big approach here. Yeah, that's going to be a really long putt to save the par. Nate seemed to get that up there pretty good, but again, yeah, Nate's probably going to be a little outside the circle, I think.
For sure. Jedd flinging one up there. Should be good for a putt. Here's Andrew's look at birdie. I don't know if the camera does justice. I mean, the bottom of the basket's like over the top of his head. He's up 15, 20 feet.
Oh, yeah.
Zach almost throwing it in there for par. This is
Oh, no.
Oh, that was his birdie putt too. Brutal. See if he can get the comeback here for par. All right, so rough start for our leader here.
I've said it before. This hole is throw a drive most of the way there, chip up, easy par, tough birdie, but the bogey comes so fast. If you hit early, it's so easy to take a bogey.
For sure.
So what do we see? We saw 2 bogeys, 2 pars there.
Yeah, I think there was 3 pars. Here's Jedd. Hole number 2, 357. This one's up to the rightish. You can kind of see it there. Really tricky line to get clean. A lot of these guys all have the power to do it, though. Really good shot by Nate.
Oh, is that hold over or is that going to fade away?
He got all the way up there, but yeah, just kind of faded out a little bit at the end.
Yeah, distance was good, but that's so easy to just drift left on this. You can see how sloping it is right to left. If you don't really fully commit, it's so easy to end up down that hill left.
Yeah, for sure.
I do like the forehand on this hole if you have it. If you have that power to get all the way up there, it pulls you back up the hill.
Yeah, Zach throws that green boss pretty well. It's like one of his Tahoe flyers, I think he calls it. He only throws it up here.
Yeah, I like that. Well, that's a great approach. A little early hit. That's going to be a little outside the circle. Got to save the par.
No.
Oh, asking for that one to sit.
Mhm.
It's a good bit there.
Tough miss there for Zach.
Yeah, it's going to be a bogey start for Zach. It's tough. The course plays long like this. It's easy to take big numbers. I mean, you have to. You almost have to play this course calmly, like the first 6 holes. Just try to just get through there, even par, and try to attack later on. Oh my goodness!
Oh, Zach making the early bid for the low light reel.
I did not see that one coming.
I don't think he did either.
A good casual back putt in.
Yeah, I don't either.
Yeah, three over through 2. That's obviously not what you're looking for, but I think pars for the next 6. It'll be all right. Anyway, hole 3, par 3, 267. This one's pretty uphill right off the tee, and then it flattens out, and then it's going to be hiding in a little garden of rocks.
Right. Yeah, you just got to kind of crest this little hill, and then it flattens out. The hyzer gap's popular. These guys are all throwing it. I like straight up the middle, and we've talked about that before.
Yeah, it's all about really getting to the edge of the rocks or over the rocks.
Wow, somebody working the Raz early. You hear that horn?
Kalange, yeah, getting caught up on that hyzer line. It's all there. It's just, I mean, look in front of you. Those are the trees you have to miss.
Mm-hmm.
There's about 100 of them. Man, I love that play. I love the forehand up the gut. But it's very specific.
Yeah, agree. Very, very demanding. If you don't hit your line, you can't get lucky. There's a nice play.
I mean, yeah, you guys can see this is a 267-foot hole, and we've got forehand lean out approaches. Like, that's how difficult this hole can be. And then, Jedd, good attempt. But this is really like anywhere from here and in is where you would like your drive to land.
For sure, yeah.
That's ideal.
These guys all the way battled up to lead card, though. I'm sure their putts should be working pretty good.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's always helps to be close.
But that little rock line is kind of like the threshold. Like, that's where you want to get minimum. You want to get to there or above.
Yeah, I mean, if you're past the rocks, they're like, well, I'm getting birdie, basically. So.
Absolutely. Yeah. Because it's pretty hard to throw it past those rocks with all those trees in the way and being as uphill as it is.
Yeah, for sure. All right, Zach is on the board with a par. There we go.
Got a par, Zach. Hole 4, guys. Par 3, 543. It's way up there to the right.
Oh,
Oh, wow, that kept fighting.
Still got way up there.
Wow, that's phenomenal for hitting a really early tree. That's a phenomenal break.
Yeah, he's loving that.
Because this is kind of that play. This is a play for par.
Yeah.
You throw a little forehand out there, let it fade right. You have a chip up the hill.
Right, yeah, these
but
guys
you just
trust the forehand, just kind of get through the gap a little easier. That's why they're making that play.
I know some guys throw like crazy aggressive forehands that go super straight for a long time, and then they end up like almost backside of the basket. But where Alex just threw it to, totally fine. Up and down for par shouldn't be that difficult. Now that looks a little turned over, but again from there,
That's some good distance. Yeah,
it's totally in play from there.
this is a tough up and down from where Jedd ended up. See where he gets to. Let's say he got up to about 40 feet. We'll see. Kalange from the bottom of the hill, kind of a bid for birdie, but you don't want to go long because the basket's kind of at the top of a crest, and you can go down the other side pretty quickly.
As soon as you pass the basket, it gets very steep.
Yes. So while these guys would like to run these, they're also like pretty safe plays because, yeah, it's if you get a birdie, you're stealing one on the whole field. And
I think when you're like down there in that valley, that tree on the left side of the basket is kind of what you're looking at, and you're just hoping to like place one right next to that tree.
yeah,
That's always my objective. Because you usually can't even see the
good
basket
save from
bottom
Jedd
of the
there.
hill.
Yeah, that's true because just the way the Manzanitas stack up.
Oh no, Nate. Okay, good par. I mean, what was the stats on this one, Dan? Do you know?
Yeah, there wasn't very many birdies at all on this bank. I think on the day, hole 4 had exactly 0 birdies in our division.
Okay, so so that'll give you a pretty good example of how difficult that hole is playing.
For sure. That's another reason why you see those guys kind of taking the forehand play and just like, all right, I think I'm going to get my par and move on. Like, I don't want to mess around and get too aggressive, then get punished and get a bogey. Like, no one else is getting birdies, so let's make this smooth.
Hole 5,
What a
guys.
shot by Andrew. Oh, I thought that was short, but that just kept going.
Yeah, that one skipped off the rock up there.
That one, like, past the basket, I think.
This says 347, but I promise you, you are not throwing 347.
You're throwing like 450.
You are throwing as hard as you can and trying to get up this hill, preferably as far left or straight.
Right.
This play works. This play works just fine. That is in a totally fine place to chip another shot up there and hopefully stick the bushes next to it and tap in your par and walk away. A par on 5 is phenomenal. Kalange, so this is kind of one of those spots that people always think they made a mistake, and then they realize it's actually a pretty good spot to be.
Yeah. And underneath this basket is a slope too. So like Zach, he just went in there fine. But if you come in too much hyzer and you land on this basket, it's cooking down the hill like really easily. Jedd, nice birdie from about I don't know, 39 feet. Nice.
No,
Hey.
we're gonna see
Another
three
birdie.
birdies.
Well, we haven't even got to Andrew's drive yet. I mean, look at this. He went long. Like, almost never seen that before.
Wait, we got 3 birdies.
3 birdies on this card, and in all of MPO final round, there was 3 birdies out of 18 players. So.
Oh my goodness, we just saw all three birdies. Wow, guys, hole 5 is
Yeah,
hard.
Spanky's excited because you play dubs here twice a week all year long, and maybe you'll lucky see one throw in on this hole. Here we go, Premium Disc Golf Studio. This is where we were out of today. Come check it out. All the discs you can imagine: climbing walls, putting practice, throwing practice.
Oh boy. Okay, hole 6. We're playing the par 4 position. I believe we're up to the right, which is more of like a straight shot, actually. But either way, it says 405 again. It
It plays farther than 405.
It's
Yeah.
too far uphill. I mean, you can literally see his head is below the bushes he's throwing over. So
Yeah.
Through it somehow.
I think we've touched on it before, but, you know, in our division, MPO division, you know, this is a pretty soft par 4. So if you get a 4 on this hole, you're kicking yourself, honestly.
yeah, these guys are all expecting the 3. I don't think anybody's expecting the 2.
Yeah.
But
No, I've never seen it 2'd.
and I know that's possible.
But these, yeah.
I've heard Nate and Tanner talk about the hyzer outside around the right side, whatever. Nonetheless, the 3 is so there.
Yeah, you're getting like, I'll make it a 3. Good shot by Zach. He should have a pretty clear line at it.
And you can see the basket back there.
Yeah, just a chip up from where all these guys drove to. It's a little narrow, but look like a little short, but it should be all right. There's Zach looking right at it, probably with a zone. Although I think he hates this zone, if I remember correctly. It's a sweet zone. Aaron Gossage, who's a super rad guy, but for some reason that one doesn't fly how we like to. Ooh, Jedd trying to ring one up for the 2. He's feeling it.
He gave it a bid there.
Here's Nate with a tactic coming in forehand. Probably plugged right under the basket for an easy 3.
Yeah, you can see how lightly he threw that.
Now, what way? This is Andrew's drive, huh? This is a bomb.
One time.
Just around the backside. So apparently somebody is looking for a 2 on this one.
Yeah, right. Jedd, oh.
Wow.
Probably longer than we thought. Probably longer than he thought, but great cleanup for the birdie.
But if that's the furthest out, you know, that's goes to show how easy the 3 is on this par 4. You have to make a mistake off the tee to not get it. Oh, we're going turbo.
It's turbo time. Nice birdie. Z money.
I think I knew that he had that up the sleeve, but I didn't know it was that good.
He loves the turbo. Nate with a tap in 3. So all 3s for our whole card here.
We got a little star frame going on. Hole 7, guys. Par 3. 333. We all know we only have one position here.
Didn't do it.
Most of these guys shouldn't even be going ready forehand.
Yeah.
Turnover works, but
Yeah, it looks like Jedd's going to show us the big hyzer line over the top here.
oh, I forget about this one a lot. I know it exists, but
Don't miss it.
if you have the power, it's there. The scary thing about that line is that it can just drift down the hill so fast.
Yeah. I'm more worried about just not throwing it high enough and then getting caught up way out there in right field. Like
Well, that too, yeah.
Nate throwing, oh, looked like a good shot, but maybe a little inside.
Ideally, you're just throwing a flat shot right at that tree in the background and then letting it get a late finish.
Yeah. That looked pretty good from Kalange. Here's Zach with his signature boss.
That looks early.
Yeah, a little inside, huh?
The only annoying thing with this hole is that right off the tee, those bushes are high enough that they force the elbow just a little bit up, higher than you would like. Just more higher than your comfortable
Yeah.
normal stance.
Here's Nate's approach for bird.
Yep.
He's playing it safe. He wasn't in position, and the green's sloping away, and there's tree right behind the basket on the left here. If you like airball and go left under that basket, then you're like putting from a knee, or like it gets ugly quick over there.
It's brutal over there. And then where Nate was,
There was Jedd's hyzer play right in the circle, but just couldn't convert the birdie. Dang, we like to see that one.
yeah, I was gonna say where Nate was, it's such a low ceiling going downhill
Yeah.
at a sloping away. Like the layup's almost, you know, it's smarter than running it. It's
Unless you know you're gonna make it, right?
yeah, you have to be so confident. But we did get, what did we get there? 2 birdies?
I think so, yeah.
Alex and Andrew there. Moving to hole 8, guys. Par 3, 297. It's right in front of you.
Yeah.
It's right there. We are seeing the backhand line, which is totally doable. Actually, we're going to see it 3 times. I think Jedd's going to go around the outside of that tree, which he did
round 2 as well.
Yeah. I don't see that very often. This is what we see more commonly is the forehand straight at it. It usually just plugs the hillside kind of just like that, unless it...
That worked out well.
Yeah. That's kind of the most common play that I see is the forehand that's just going to plug the hillside, leave you inside, 20 feet.
Zach's was a little inside, but it finished nicely through that right gap. You should have an easy putt for Berg. Jedd banging one.
Yeah, Dan,
This kid came to play.
you always go with the lefty forehand out on that right side, right?
Yeah, that's my play. Oh, Kalange for birdie. Dang.
It is one of those holes. It gets in your head.
Yeah.
The putt from 25 downhill. You tell yourself if I graze the chains and I err on the side, I'm going down to Bogeyville. So, hitting the low on the cage, it's not surprising.
Right, yeah. All right, we're going to cruise up to hole 9 here. Kalange with a par there, and Jedd and Nate getting birdies. There's a 3-way tie at the top here through 8. Pretty exciting. McGill's 4 down so far. He's just 1 back of them. Shaping up. It's also a good time to take a look at this weather. Zephyr Cove is known to be a little windy because we're on the side of a mountain right here, but I don't know if you can tell from our players or the flags or the trees, but just absolutely premium disc golf weather.
Well, I like what you did there.
Nate throwing, he's got like a zone OS, I think that's what that was. You really got to crank that thing out there.
Yeah, he went a little soft. He cut those trees.
McFarling going Star Firebird Thumber. Look at this.
I like the thumber play. I just don't like the roll away potential on that path.
Yeah, I hear that argument, but I think if you roll away on the path, you're like, that means your shot was in the center of the fairway. It's like, there's a lot of bushes down there. I don't think it always rolls.
Yeah, I agree. It's a phenomenal.
Kalange slinging 1 wide.
It's a great option. Just I think the forehand plugs the bushes a little bit better. Okay, seems like a pretty good approach there. I couldn't tell if that got.
I think he's right there.
Say it must be close.
Jedd threw some trees, drew chains, but couldn't quite hammer it in there. He'll settle for par. Here's Nate's par putt. Nate. Kalange kind of ace ran it, and here's where he finished with the forehand. There we go. He's going in the right direction. Here's McFarling's thumber.
Nice. Here goes Zach. Yeah, Zach and Alex. 3 downs to the last 4.
Right, that is going to wrap up our front 9 coverage. We got Quinn Berger to the hot front 9, creeping up 5 down into the top 5 for now. Kalange on top by 1 over Jedd. Toutolmin and McGill just 2 back of our leader.
Yeah, everybody else is hanging in there, but 11s. It's going to be hard to crawl back from 11 to 17. And these guys are, they're only going to be putting on a better show. So
yeah, I can't wait to see the back how it shakes out. We got a battle.
I'm looking forward to it. All right, guys, we'll see you in a little bit.
Peace.